Hello and welcome to Turning Point Tactics, the competitive Killteam 40k podcast and YouTube channel focused on giving you the strategies and tactics to seize initiative every turning point. I'm your host Ryan and I'm here to give you the tips and tricks to elevate every part of your Killteam experience. If you enjoy this content and you want more, you can join our Patreon for as little as £3 a month. We'll get access to our Discord, patron priority questions, early access to videos including Killteam bat reps, faction guides and much more. If that's not for you, you can support just by hitting like, subscribe and sharing these videos amongst the community of Killteam enthusiasts local to you. With all that said, let's get into it.
Hello everybody, hope you're well. This is going to be another video, and as you can see in the title, it is a dad's guide to trying to get your kids' work on Warhammer community. It was just a silly challenge really, but more of just a nice opportunity to do something with Turner. We got this new Eldar Corsairs kit, which just has loads of lovely, beautiful models. I love Eldar. I think they're a fantastic army, which has just excellent models to paint. But also we got this really nice big Viper in the set. So with it being quite big, we don't get many big things in Killteam. So I thought it was a nice opportunity to try and do something with Turner. Now, as you may have seen before, I've done a previous Dad's Guide video where I've done some bits and bobs with Turner. So this video is going to be a little bit kind of like a progression video about what you can do to start with, what I have done previously and kind of why he's kind of a bit into it now, and also how I've kind of got him into maybe painting in a bit more of a refined way, in a bit more of a kind of careful way, to produce something which I'm dead chuffed with. Now, it is a bit of a collab project, so by all means, he's not going to do the whole thing. I wanted it to appear on Warhammer Community so we could have a really nice look back on it. So it was something I wanted to take to a really good degree, so we could see if we could possibly get it on there. So it's going to kind of be a little bit of a collab project where we do bits and take turns, but hopefully it will be nice and interesting. And if anything else, when you're painting, you can listen to that lovely kind of, quiet sound of, what it's like when children are just working. Come on. You nearly broke it, so don't touch it yet. We're going to do some more bits. Look, ta-da! Super duper. So I just wanted to really quickly say what I would do to start before doing any kind of serious building. The best thing I found was literally just to let him paint first. And as you can see here, this is just a collection of the stuff that he's painted that I just gave him to have a good time on. So he's just had paints. He can just kind of get his hands on some stuff and just put some colour down. Some of these we went to the Warhammer shop and bought him. Those kind of the shark and the lizardman thing he bought. So he had the chance to choose what he wanted to do. A lot of the other things here are just kind of spare kill teams. This is one of those miniatures of the month. But it was just an opportunity for him to just get involved. And I think this is such an important stage to start with, because otherwise it's just too much to start with any kind of try to paint thinly or try to do this or any kind of control, because you just want them to actually want to do it first. I would also say just try to make sure you're painting visibly in the house. You know what it's like with kids, if you're trying to get them to do anything, then they don't want to do it. But if they see you doing it, then they kind of want to just be like you. And so I've got a room, luckily, that's kind of in the middle of the stairs, which is on the way up. So basically it means that he can kind of come past me, sometimes come see and watch me paint. And he's now naturally interested and wants to do it. So that's one main thing I would do. We try to kind of just let him see us doing stuff rather than make him do anything, so he can kind of choose stuff out of choice rather than us try to kind of funnel him down a path as such.
So do you want me to hold both pieces, or do you want to hold both pieces, or shall I hold this and you put that there?
I hold this.
Give it a try then. Put it on. Let's see that. Oh, that's good. That's perfectly placed. That looks very good. Yeah.
And as you can see here, the next thing we did was building. I'm not going to talk about it ages, but I just think it's a really good opportunity to do loads of learning, but also just have a really nice time. When we were doing this, it gave us opportunities to let him count. You'll see that in some of the small little snippets I've got later. It's going to show in those videos really kind of some of the little opportunities you get to just do things. But he can hold the clippers in place if I support him. You can ask him to stick stuff together, kind of find areas of problem solve and see where stuff should go. He can find numbers on the sheet, which is a great opportunity to count. He can pick stuff and start to create something. So all of those kind of elements are really, really good. And so I wouldn't miss the building stage at all. It's really good. Have a look at some of these snippets and you can see how we got on.
Can you see what I'm doing at the moment? This is called dry fitting. And you do it because, can you see, I can test whether it goes in. And can you see, it doesn't go in there because you see there's a space?
Yeah.
Doesn't go in there. Does that work?
Yeah.
Yes, I put it in like that, don't I? But be a bit careful, right? How do these go then? Have a look.
I think that's not the same. I think that goes like that, but that's
Not like that, is it? That's not fitting. Nearly.
Yeah.
And are you wanting to do it again where you kind of basically
stick down.
you stick it? Yeah, you can do that. Right, you can get them both now and these squeeze it together. Does that work?
Please.
Right, does that look right?
Yeah.
Okay, good, fantastic. That's good. Now what number is that?
12.
It's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It is 7. Yeah, that's it. It's 7. Well done. It's a 7. So now I'll do this one, and now how about you do this one? You ready?
Yeah.
So here, hold this with your right hand because you cut with your right, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So go get it, and you squeeze.
Squeeze.
Squeeze, 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 squeeze.
Squeeze.
Good job.
Look, that just poured out.
That was easy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now, what colours are we going to paint it? Because I know you wanted to paint. So what colours are we going to paint this?
Whatever colour.
Whatever colour. Whatever colour I want.
Yeah, but I want you to just know whatever colour I want.
Okay. All right. Well, let's be clear then. What do you want to do?
Red.
You want it all red. I had a feeling you might want to do it red. Okay. So obviously we're trying to get stuff to a far better degree than we've had previously, and the first battle was really to start getting him to paint thinner, and the best way I could do this was just basically to help him mix his paints for him and kind of get it the right amount of paint on the brush. So just as you're going to see in a minute, kind of what I'm trying to do is just sit with him and just help him kind of mix the right amount so he can kind of feel it on his brush. So you'll see here he was painting and I've just helped him kind of shift it a bit. So have a look.
It's a little bit too thin. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit more paint in for you so it's not as thin. Okay, so it's a little bit thicker. A little bit. Try it now. Try it now. I know you're not. Come on, have a paint. And we want a nice thin layer over everything. Yeah? Good boy.
After that, we've just basically spent time working over that first coat of the model, and the first part of it was just getting his first coat of red down. So you can see he's really calmly doing it. He did a really, really good job, and he properly focused in, was kind of because he was getting a good result. He was, really enjoying it and just doing it really methodically. You can see what we took it in turns. I did a little bit, he did a little bit, and we were just sharing. Me doing it was giving him a good example, and then he was trying to just follow that and do it all over the model.
Okay, now, what we do now is we look at it and we let it dry. That's what we're gonna do.
We have to leave it alone.
We do. So do you want to go and then come back to it when it's dry?
Yeah, but and you go away from it too.
Okay.
Otherwise it.
Right, so shall we now paint the next bit? Yeah?
Yeah.
So now, shall I show you what we need to do?
Yeah.
So can you see this? It's kind of red, but it's not completely red. Can you see it's a little bit liney? Can you see all the lines? We've got to make that not have any lines. We've got to make it solid red. So we're going to mix this red again. And then it'll get even more.
It's already dry.
It's dried, yeah, but we now need to do another layer of red to try and make sure it's really nice and smooth. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So having a good gap between each time you paint, rather than just trying to do it all in one setting, I found really useful, just to make sure that he's not just getting bored doing the same thing and can do everything with good quality. Otherwise, it can get a little bit sloppy. And also, one thing when doing this, you can see it's just really good practice on pencil grips. I'm not saying kind of like there's a one perfect pencil grip. There's quite a lot of different ones that are okay for kids to use, but it's also something that's so easy for them to get into bad habits. I cannot tell you the amount of absolutely insane pencil grips that I see on a daily basis when I'm teaching kids. Like, honestly, some kids at school hold their pencils or paintbrushes like shanks. It's absolutely insane to look at. But it's just such a difficult thing to change at a later age. So trying to focus on a early age like this and kind of using these as opportunities for them to practice is a really good opportunity.
You've got to be really careful of poking it when you're doing it, because what you don't want to do is you don't want by mistake to make a fingerprint. Now, do that bit. Keep going.
What's he for doing a fingerprint?
And over time, we just kept working into the model. This was another layer, and you can see he's just kind of building up, and he painted that second layer, and it pretty much got a good, 2 thin coats, as you do. After that, you can see what I've done next is I've just got a quick one of these acrylic pens. I just wanted to boost the colour really, really quickly in some of those top areas. I just wanted this to be a fast, quick way of doing it. That's why I use the pens. And because we're going to use the pens a little bit later, I thought, why not just quickly do it? It would cut down a bit of the time. I didn't want him getting too bored. So you can see all I'm doing is just getting a little bit of that paint to put on some of that top area. I know I'm going to work into this a little bit later, so I wasn't too bothered about it being a little bit of a kind of step from one tone to the next.
Okay, so Turner. Right, so Turner, what I want you to do now is I want you to get this pen, not colour. So not colour. What I want is I want a few shapes and a few lines. Not many, but on the red. So just a few. Is that okay? Try and be as neat as possible. Not many. You show me where.
So I gave him a pen, and I tried to just not be too nervous about it and just let him go for it. At the end of the day, we could always paint over some things or paint again if we needed to. I've used these acrylic pens before, and I thought this would just be, again, just the easiest way to get him to have some ownership over how things were. I thought if maybe I did a paintbrush, it might just be a bit of a more difficult process. I just said draw some lines, draw some patterns in some places, and I knew I was going to refine them and start to kind of try and make them a little bit neater, but I wanted him to have some ownership over where the colour went. So that was the purpose of it, not for him to kind of do it to a refined standard, but just put where it needs to go. And actually, have a look. I'm really kind of pleased where he was putting the lines. He's done them on the ends of those two wings. He's done them quite symmetrically in the middle on either side. And this was all kind of chosen by him, which I think is really lovely, that he's got to kind of choose this kind of pattern and design. Now, obviously, I am going to change them, and you will see they have quite a lot of change in terms of the shape of them, but they do kind of stick to what he was wanting to do, which is in essence is what I wanted. I wanted it to be a joint venture, and yeah, as you can see, he's working into it and doing some nice little bits of placement of colour.
Right down the middle there, right down there. Okie dokie. Anywhere else, or is that how we're going to have the blue?
Anywhere else.
You just want to go on the back? Okay. Right, shall I work with that then, Turner?
Let me tiny bit there.
Okay. Cool, so shall I try and work with that? And tomorrow I'll try and have something for you, and we'll try and finish it all off like that, shall we?
Fly it.
You can fly it after it's done. How about that?
And at this point, I must say the deadlines were really closing in. I only had about a day left to finish this, so I did have to take over the reins a little bit and start to embellish and kind of work with what Turner had done and get it to a finished state. This next bit isn't really a step-by-step guide as such, but I will try and just show you how I got to the end point. It was never meant to be a kind of like absolute step-by-step guide, but just to show what me and Turner did. So I hope the next bit is okay. But as you can see, what I did as we're going through here, I'm filling in the areas, I'm working into the blue and trying to just fill out some of those bits that he put in. I really, really like where he's put the stuff, so I'm just trying to make it a little bit larger and a little bit neater. I also then tried to fade in a little bit of that blue into the red, so that transition wasn't so stark. I did it with some dots. I probably would have chosen to do it in a bit more of a refined way if I had a bit more time, but I think it works with what we're trying to do pretty well, so I'm pretty happy with what we've done there. You can also see me doing a little bit of highlighting and edge highlighting on this. I've done edge highlighting to pretty much everything. This picture shows you here how I've edge highlighted the red, I've edge highlighted the blue, I've started adding a few little dots to the blue, and also started adding a few kind of scratches into the model as well. So I did a lot of black little scratches going away from the tips of points, so it looks like chips were hitting the front of the vehicle and bouncing back. You can see here is just with the glass on, and also the riders are done, and obviously the white of the guns. With the white of the guns, to be honest, I did just try to airbrush it, but then I had to just do a few other layers. You can also see I put a few transfers on, again, just to try and kind of sell the effect and make all of it come together. And here you can see I'm doing the base. I've put grass tufts, I've put cork bark, I've got some actual cork pieces down on there as well, some twigs, and what I'm planning to do with that is basically kind of airbrush into it so it all kind of comes together. This is a shot where you can kind of see I've airbrushed all of that layer below, which has kind of brought it all together much better, so it looks a little bit more natural. You can also see here that that actual kind of vehicle is starting to look a bit green, and it's because when I was doing that, I very kind of lightly glazed green ink all down at the bottom of the craft to look like it's kind of reflecting part of that floor, or like some of this kind of reflection of the floor, some of the light from the floor is bouncing into it and just colouring the ship a bit. And then you can see what I've done here is I've put a lot more tufts onto the ground just to try and make everything look a little bit more natural and bring it all together. And that is basically the whole ship and how it's all come together. I know I've not gone into all the process, but you get a little bit of an idea about how we finished that off. And this here is basically Turner's reaction and what he thought of it when it was all done. Together. Yeah, do you want to come see it?
Yeah.
It's just over here.
But yesterday you put the glass
So I know I'll put the glass on later, but I just didn't want to put on the glass on straight away because it's not attached yet, and I'll attach it soon.
Did you put some grass to keep it still?
To keep the grass still. So what I did, Turner, is I put grass on because... Oh, and finally, did it make it onto Warhammer Community? Well, yes, it did, which is wicked. It was the nicest thing to actually see it come up. As you can see, it's put that it was done by Solly and his son, which was an even nicer little touch that I thought was so nice. So thank you so much, Games Workshop. I really, really appreciate it because it was the nicest thing to show him. I wish I got you the actual recording of him and his reaction to seeing it on there. It was really nice. Not that I thought he would have any idea of what it meant about it being on the internet, on our website, but he was dead happy about it. So it was a really lovely thing to do, really lovely kind of activity, and also throughout it all, it's kind of got him better at painting. I'm quite looking forward to him doing a little bit more, really. And so that's the end of the video. So I hope this was a nice watch. I don't know whether it's the kind of thing that you want to see or not. So we just thought we'd give it a try. With it being something slightly different to Killteam, we thought we'd use it for something, and I really enjoyed doing the last Dad's Guide video, so I thought I'd do one this time. This release really was the perfect set to do this challenge on. They're a really lovely set of models, and I really can't wait to get my hand on a paintbrush and get some more of them painted. I'll try and put them on the Instagram when I've done them, and yeah, all the best everybody, see you later.
That brings us to the end of the episode. Hopefully you found something new or useful while listening, and if you did, throwing us a like would be greatly appreciated. If you want to make sure you don't miss any episodes, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click on the bell so you get notifications as soon as the next one drops. It really is the best way to help a small channel like ours. And if you can't wait and you do want early access, we have a Patreon where you can get exclusive access to all our content ahead of time. As always, we'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback. Just drop a comment below and we'll get right to you. Thank you so much for listening. I'm your host Ryan, this has been Turning Point Tactics, and we'll see you next week.